One of the biggest problems that I see with ladies between the ages of 45 to 65, ladies with type 2 diabetes or even pre-diabetes, when they're trying to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds plus, lower their A1C and achieve remission, is this, and that is they try to change too much too soon. Right, they try and walk 10,000 steps. They try and drink 100 ounces of water a day. They try and go to try and work out 3 times a week. They cut out, bread, pasta, rice, and all of their favourite foods because that's what they're told they're supposed to do. And all that does is it creates a miserable approach, first of all, because it eliminates so much of what they enjoy, but also it requires them to spin so many plates at the same time. And what that means is that, well, first of all, as humans, we've only got the capacity to change so much at once and still be consistent with it, right? So if you change 5, 6, 7, 8 things, you're going to wonder why 3 weeks later you're no longer doing any of those things, or you get overwhelmed, you get busy, your schedule gets hectic, work hours increase, and before you know it, you crash and you burn, and you just say, I've ruined it now anyway, right? So what we want to focus on instead is focusing on changing just 2 to 3 easy specific things, right? 2 to 3 easy specific things. Get really good at those things, get consistent with them, get confident with them, and then slowly add other things over time, right? But we want to make sure that we're focusing on impactful changes, right? I mean, for example, drinking more water is important, right? Exercise is important, but if your diet and nutrition is not where it needs to be, then none of that is going to matter anyway. So the adjustments that we do make, you want to make sure that those are impactful adjustments within your diet and nutrition, but changes that don't require you to eliminate anything, because the reality is you haven't got to cut out bread, pasta, rice, or even sweets to lose weight and lower your A1C. Instead, we need to focus on how much of it you eat, how often you eat it, and what else you eat. All right, I call that the trifecta rule. Okay, how much of it you eat, portion, how often you eat it, frequency, and then lastly, other things that you're eating. So balance, essentially, right? Once you get those 3 things down, it becomes enjoyable, it becomes sustainable, and losing weight and lowering your A1C just becomes a normal day. The ladies that I coach, we only change 2 to 3 things. It takes less than 10 minutes per day, and they still lose 6 to 10 pounds in their first month and lower their blood sugars by 30 to 40 points in their first month by changing just 2 to 3 easy specific things that takes less than 10 minutes. So the moral of the story is, try not to change too much at once. It requires motivation, and anything that requires motivation isn't going to be sustainable because motivation is fleeting, right? So focus on just a few things. Change, take your lunch to work, change your breakfast for, a lower calorie, lower carb breakfast, right? Small, subtle adjustments. I'll speak to you soon.